So, welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show, ladies and gentlemen. As many of you know, I'm a big advocate of being able to defend yourself. You know, I believe very much in always have your tools on you and available to you. Because what good is a tool, whether it's a gun, mace, knife, stun gun, what good is it if when you're being attacked, it's sitting at home in your closet, right? So, with that said, make sure you get your concealed carry permit. Make sure you know the laws of your state when you're carrying. But today I wanted to talk to you about the most important tool in your kit. And it's one you always have with you no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. You just have to learn how to turn it on, and you have to learn how to use and trust it properly. So, take for instance, you wouldn't have an everyday carry gun that you didn't trust. You wouldn't carry an everyday knife that was dull. You wouldn't carry mace if the canister was empty. And this tool is so important, you have to learn how to use it. And that tool is your intuition. Your intuition is honestly the most important tool you have in your tool case. Take for example, you ever got that feeling that, hey, something's not right here. You know, something's wrong, something's off. But you ignore it and you run your errands anyway and something happens. You know, you should have listened to that intuition. Or like many of us when we were young, I know one thing that would stop me in my tracks every time is if I was going somewhere and my mother said, I don't think you should go. You know, usually when you're going somewhere, your mom doesn't want you to go. It's, I don't think you should do this, and blah, 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 you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. You know, but my mom would get this solemn look on her face and be like, I don't think you should go. I remember this specific time I was going to go hang out with some friends, and she said, I don't think you should go. So I sat down on the bench outside. We grew up in the country. We just kind of hung out, you know. And it turns out something bad did happen that day. And I was very lucky not to have went. I'll never forget this story my dad tells me. He was in this really bad car wreck. There was 4 of them in the car, and 3 of them died. As you probably can guess, my dad lived. This is when he was younger. But he said he specifically remember his mother, my grandmother, Big Mama, saying, I don't think you should go that day, but he went anyway against her intuition. So always trust your intuition. When you get that gut feeling, or if you're in a situation and something doesn't feel right, listen to that little voice in the back of your head. You see, that's the things that you're not consciously aware of, that your mind and body are aware of, and they're trying to break through that conscious wall and let you know we need to get out of here. Applies to a lot of things. You ever look at a car you really like, but you get that gut instinct not to buy it? Turns out it was a lemon. So that's the most important tool in your toolkit. Listen to it, take advantage of what it's telling you, and move on. You know, it's really hard though, because I know some of you, if you have to go run an errand or something important needs to be done, that little voice tells you, no, we shouldn't go. Most of us are going to go anyway. So if you're in that situation or something's telling you you're wrong, but you have to do it anyway, because some things, especially medical appointments, you know, they want to charge you that. What is it up to now? $35, $50 if you miss an appointment, or if you don't cancel within, 24 hours ahead of time. So some things we have to do. Just make sure when you walk out the door that you're aware of what's going on around you. The perfect situation. You know how relationships go. So one morning or one evening, there was a whole big blow-up dust storm. The next day, I'm going to my doctor. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting. I'm talking to my buddy on the phone, Dr. Fax, actually. We were talking about a show topic. But I was talking to him about what had happened that night. And so I'm distracted and, everything's kind of cut off. Usually, I'm very aware of what's going on around me, especially if I'm sitting in a parking lot somewhere. I make sure I'm checking my mirrors. I make sure I'm looking every once in a while to see who's coming up, who's moving. All of a sudden, I'm just sitting there, and this druggie pops up at my window. Right there. He came to the passenger side. I was on the driver's side. He's like, oh, I'm out here trying to sell this dope. And this was just a couple of weeks ago. I'm out here trying to sell this dope, and I got a 20 bag, blah, blah, blah.